Hey y'all, um, this video is going to be about how you can make money on the side if you're a targeted individual. Say you're like me and you're facing the scenario of being homeless, living on the streets, not having any money, not having a job. You got all the time in the world, right? Um, I'm not really worried about that part. I mean, I do have other stuff that really needs to be paid, like we'll just say money that the government wants from me that I'm supposed to be paying and I haven't been. But anyway, say you got all the time in the world and you're kind of desperate, right? I'm not saying don't go get a job. I'm not saying don't apply for jobs, but this is one way that you can make money on the side. It's just a matter of how much you apply yourself. Because I know I've been homeless before. I know that you can get a cell phone, like an Android. I prefer Android. I don't know why. I just never liked Apple. But anyway, you can get a phone for like $20. I mean, if you have to, like, go up to a gas station and beg for money from somebody until you get $20, and then go buy a phone from somebody else at the shelter who's selling one or something, if it's that bad, get yourself a phone, and then all you got to do. I know this is probably going to sound kind of stupid to some of you. Others, might be like, "Oh, I've heard of that before. Yeah, I've seen videos about people who do that." But there are people out there who do this, and what it is making money, basically playing video games. You can sit there and you can just, even if you're at a shelter or whatever, or sitting on a street corner, as long as you got internet access, you can get on a game, preferably one of the most popular games. And I'll name a couple just as examples. Final Fantasy 15 and Clash of Clans are two very popular games on Android. If you don't know which games are the most popular, don't just go downloading any game that like 15 people have downloaded, and nobody's going to buy an account for that. But basically what you do is you play the game and you get your account built up. And if you're like me and you have all the time in the world, then you really have nothing to lose. You just work at it, you stay on it, you be consistent about it, you get your account built up to where it's worth something to somebody else, because there are people who do have jobs who, they don't have time like we do to be spending playing video games, and they are willing to pay for those accounts. So, for example, say you get halfway through the game and level 15 out of 30. Those accounts, some of them sell for $150, $300, and that's, considering you can build your account up to that level within a matter of a few days or a week, not knowing what you're doing. I mean, that's pretty decent money. I mean, you can make a full-time living doing this, and there are people who do. So, again, basically the idea is you're the one spending your time, your precious time, putting all the work in, and then somebody else who just, a rich kid or whoever it is, who cares? I mean, there are people out there who spend money on this. And of course, it does go against most of the policies for the games. So you don't want to get on the chat and be like, well, I just do this to make money, because that's how you're going to get yourself busted. But it is perfectly legal. It's not like it's not like you're selling drugs or anything and you're going to get caught up, and it's not like that. So it's pretty legit as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about how you do it, but, just to kind of give you a little idea, you can get 2-3 accounts going at the same time on one game, because it does take time to do certain things in the games. And, say then after a few weeks, you've got not just one level 15 account that's worth $100, but you've got 3 of them, and it'll take a little bit more work. You got to kind of know what you're doing. You might have to sign up for some new email addresses, but my point is that that's one way. If you're really desperate, and you don't like flying a sign, I don't mind flying a sign. I'll get out there and fly a sign. But if you don't want to do that, and you don't want to be out there selling your tail or something like that for money, or doing something that's going to get you in trouble. I mean, this is something you can do that you don't got to deal with customers. You don't got customer service or nothing. Nobody cares if you got green pus coming out of your knees from the weapons people be using against you or whatever. Who cares? Like, they don't. All they're concerned about is what level are you at on your account, how much resources you have acquired or whatever, and that's it. And you get paid for it. And that money, you got to be careful when you're selling, of course, because if you're basically selling a password, and how can you prove that you delivered the password? So that's one of the things that you got to kind of look into, know what you're doing, because you don't want to spend 2 weeks on an account and then try to sell it on eBay and have them say you never delivered or something. But I mean, there's websites out there for people who specifically sell game accounts and stuff like that. Like, it's an industry now. So anyway, I just want to throw this out there to y'all guys, let y'all, just give you a little idea. Because I mean, there's other ways you can make money online, but I'm not talking about filling out surveys or none of that, because I never really had any luck with that. But this is something that I know that, I haven't sold any accounts yet, but I'm working on it. And as far as I'm concerned, they are valuable. So maybe not to me, but to somebody. And that's what matters. So, yeah, just want to give you all that idea. Y'all be blessed.